Hi everyone, I'm Bowen. I'm the mathematical advisor at Deal or No Deal Island, but you're not here for that. I am also the assistant rules designer at Barrels of Fun, and this is our first game of Jim Henson's Labyrinth. Dave Van Ness, when he's here, he'll talk to you all about how much of a passion project this is for him, that he's always desperately wanted a Labyrinth game to be created, and then he was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna have to do it myself. And built the company along with Brian Savage, who has a history with collectibles at Hasbro, and made this company in this game, and I'm supposed to stand over here? All right, yeah. And I've been involved with this project for quite a while with ideas about what the rules could be, along with Phil Grimaldi, who's the head rules designer, and plenty of other people who were recognizable from other companies along the way. And we're just excited to see the reception this game's gotten, and to see the game being delivered and manufactured correctly, and getting that stuff out to everybody. This was game number 92, and the games that Pinball Star is offering out there are, I think, 147, 148. And this comes with, this is the optional topper. The games themselves are limited to 1,100, but the topper, anyone can get any of the accessories. There's a topper, there's an alternate back glass with the characters instead of with David Bowie, and there's also a shooter rod that looks like a little nipper that gets carried around. So if you're a super fan of the movie, you might find that cool. Otherwise, you're just like, ah, it's so creepy. What is that thing? Anyway, so I'd like to show you a little bit about what is in the game, but also talk through some of the design decisions and how we use color to help the player learn how to play the game while they're playing it for the first time. We don't have an instruction card. We don't want an instruction card. We want people to just go in, be able to play, do things they feel are natural, and then get rewarded for them and get progress for them, and understand why they're doing what they're doing as they build up through the game. And I'm gonna have my butt pointed at you apparently, but if at any point there are questions or you'd like to ask something, how about questions before we even do this? Any question about this? Yeah.
You were involved in the rules, right?
Yes, I've been involved in the rules design for this game, and some parts around the layout as well, and the choices that we made, especially things like how we convey information to the player. Where are the lamps? What colors are the lamps? What happens? When do the light shows happen, and why? And that amount of detail really needs to go into a game for it to feel right. So when you shoot something and it gives you the right sound and the right lights and the right display at that moment, you know, all right, I did that, and I know I did that, and it was cool, and I want to do it again, and I want to play this game again, and I want to own this game, and that's how you get people really into pinball. What?
That's what made it intuitive, right?
You have to. You have to work really hard to make the choreography intuitive, and that's one of the things that people, I don't think they understand how hard it is to make a game feel good. It's you know it when you play a game. You play a game, you do something, and you're like, I don't get it. It doesn't feel right. When it doesn't feel right, you just know. When it does feel right, you usually don't even think about it. It's just like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And that's a lot of work to get all of those details right. The combos, the shots changing direction on the labyrinth to make the player feel like they are confused. That's exactly what you don't want. You want the player to understand intuitively how to do something that they're supposed to be confused by. So you have an extra challenge layer in doing a game like Labyrinth and doing it justice. Did you have another question with that, or okay? Go ahead.
I think I speak for everyone here when I say, where's Jennifer?
The question is, where is Jennifer Connelly? Well, I lived with Jennifer Connelly for a year, and it's what actually happened with this, and David is better at this than I am. So I should leave the question to him. But the reality is it's about how you play the game and who you are. What is your agency in the game? So in this game, you are the one navigating the labyrinth. That allows you to turn left when Jennifer Connelly turned right. You can go into the helping hand saucer
And in the movie, they ask her up or down. She says down. David would say, well, I wonder what would have happened if she'd said up. It would have been completely different. Well, you can say up. You can decide to hang out with the worm and drink tea. And these are all things that didn't happen in the movie. And that's why it feels like your story. So actually the choice, licensing, he'll talk about the licensing if you want to. We were fine. We could have done the licensing no problem. It wasn't extra money. It wasn't extra anything like that. It is the fact that we want you to be the character and have the agency that runs in the game. And again, I encourage you to look at other pinball machines and feel the agency. One of the best examples is Spider-Man. Stern Spider-Man, you make a shot, you hear, woo! It's like, you're Spider-Man. You're doing that stuff. The dude is yelling at you, the guy from the movie with the drums. He's yelling at you to do stuff. And you really feel like Spider-Man. You feel the agency. And that's one of the reasons, not the only one, that makes that a great game.
Where's the girl?
What girl?
What the?
Oh, that girl. She's already been through it once. Why would she go through that again?
That's the answer. What other questions? I'll have to pass that one on to David, but let me remember that question. It is a really good picture, and it's very hard to get that picture right because you can be off by just a little bit, and it'll feel uncanny in a way. And also the whole process. We're working with both the Henson Company as well as David Bowie's estate to get agreements and assurances, and they get to approve everything. They can look at the game and say, like, all right, well, you need to do more of this or less of this. But it also means that we get to work with them about how this hair is designed and what to dip it in to make it just right for a Muppet. And those things are like, it's incredible. I mean, we get to work with friggin' Henson. It was amazing. And I think Barrels, again, is more for David, I'm sorry. Barrels is going to really enjoy working with companies to make their vision come to life as a machine. And the premium quality of these machines will hopefully bring more licensors to the table and say, oh, we would love to see this done with the level of detail that you are building for your other machines. But, yeah, they're good. I like this one a lot better. But you're right, there are plenty of people like, why didn't you just have the characters be the one for everybody? I was like, well, because it's David Bowie. Yeah.
Do you have any like rules ideas that you had that you really wanted that you couldn't do, or that like you thought were really cool but didn't work?
So what about rules ideas we didn't do? The answer is always yes. The answer is always yes, because you're like, oh, it would be like this. And usually what happens is you try that thing and you're like, oh, this isn't actually fun. Or it's rarer that you just run out of time, but it's usually the choice ends up being something more simple than what you thought you wanted to do. You're like, I can make one shot, and then I can make two shots, and then I can make three shots, and then I can make, and you realize like, no, this is a 20-shot mode. This is not going to work. And you're, all right, well, what could we use out of that general idea and produce it? So when we play Oubliette, that's my favorite on here. Talk about the detail of that. But there are many other stories like that I really can't share, because if you have those ideas, you still have them, and you could piggyback them into game 2 or game 3 or game 4. Yeah.
Is this game done? I know a lot of games nowadays.
Done?
I know a lot of games nowadays, they'll have more releases, there's more they want to do. You can pick up a new table, but you're going to see a new release. I see the Stern tables out there.
Were we done when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? The answer is no. It's not done. There are the very final Wizard mode called Battle Jareth is still being not built, but made really good. One goal we've said publicly is that both of the Wizard modes, which are the Battle Jareth and the Goblin City, will be made available as start from start. So like what Stern's been doing for a few years now. So everyone will get the chance to experience Goblin City and Jareth regardless of their ability to get there. This many people have gotten to Battle Jareth in real life so far. And not just because it's not there. It is there, just nobody's gotten all the orbs yet. And you have to get all 13 orbs. We'll talk about that when the game starts. Ready to go? Let's go. All right. All right. So this is mainly a game about meeting friends and having your friends carry you forward through things. You know, it's all about the friends you meet along the way. It's also a mode-based game. There are 6 modes in the middle. And at the beginning of the game, when you first hit a switch, it will lock in a mode. So you can actually choose your mode, but you're not choosing your mode with the flippers.
We have to flip everything over to find what you lost.
What did you find in there?
Oh, that's someone's keys.
All right, let's go. So I'm gonna try to pick Oubliette by plunging at the right time to get it. Get that there, no. Went around to knockers. So to start a mode, you need to shoot the white arrows. And so ramps and orbits are white arrows, along with loops. Ah! Ooh. Once per ball, you get this free save from Didymus in blue. And after you use them up, you gotta light it again by getting to his level. There's also shots colored in yellow and blue and orange, and those correspond to the 3 characters, Hoggle, Ludo, and Didymus. In the movie, they represent different ways to improve yourself in the labyrinth. Hoggle makes things easier by finding shortcuts. Ludo is offensive, so he makes things worth more. And Didymus is defensive, so he makes saves and ball savers and out of balls. Generally ways to make the game simpler to play. Once you make enough white arrows, you spell the word labyrinth. And I don't know if you may have never seen the game. There's 2 screens, the main screen and the bottom screen. The bottom screen generally gives you useful heads-up information, while the top one is more about your overall display. So it'll show the labyrinth letters, and then when I shoot and start 4 guards,
Complete this quest.
shoot 10 targets for a frenzy. Yeah, frenzy.
One of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies. I wish I could always lie like that guy.
You don't always lie.
Not always.
So this is a classic logic puzzle that's in the movie. And you ask a question that locks in a color by shooting one of the side flipper shots. And then I see red shots and blue shots. I gotta make everything red. And the sign in the bottom of the screen also says, shoot ramps, orbits to toggle color, make them red. Correct door value, 2.5 million. Load points, 270. So I need to get the blue shots to turn red. Get up and around, nope, no good there. Blue shots. Blue shot.
Is that right?
Blue shot.
He always lies. I do not. I tell the truth. Oh, what a lie.
Oh, now that everything is red, I have the escape lit on the red side, the right side, to go. So this is actually what happens in the movie is she asks a question and then figures out that it's that door. And if you make them blue, all blue instead of all red, you can take the blue door, but it turns out to be wrong. Here it's the red door. And by shooting through the red door, oh, do we have a problem with that? Oh, should have gone through there. Oh, I see what's happened there. Oh, I missed it. Well, I hit it, but I missed it. Sorry. That's too bad. All right, let's see if we can't go down and play something else. We got Fiery's lit, but the process is still the same. You shoot white lights, and then white lights will light the modes.
That's close enough.
Hello.
Was that a worm? Yeah, that's William. Nice chap. He loves tea.
It's true, he does.
I brought you.
Gifts. I like that side flipper shot up in the middle there. Sorry, I should have shaked that. But from the side flipper, you have 2 main shots, a loop around and then a sort of escape ramp that goes back around through the spinner and back to the left flipper. It's not really something I've seen in too many other games. So it's a nice flow. You go around the loop, you go around the orbit, you can go through. It sets up some really long combos. Okay, there's a 4-way combo there, but you can combo for quite a while. Let's see if we can get multi-ball, but also let's start another mode too. If you want to light locks, you shoot the green. So there are green targets everywhere.
Here's a treasure. You want that, don't you?
Oh, here's a treasure. Okay, once you hit the green, all the green shots, the locks are lit. The first lock is on the left spinner. The second lock will be on the center ramp, and the third lock will be on the right orbit. All 3 shots go to the same place in the back of the game. They get grabbed by that magnet, dumped in for the lock. Oh, Joe! One nice thing about that center ramp is that it can actually also be made from the lower right flipper. Oh, special music. People ask us to play this music like the whole game sometimes, and they're wrong. If you played this music the whole time, people would hate it. It's a very short loop. But this is inspired by games like Addams Family and Twilight Zone. And when you got 2 locks and multi-ball ready, the music changes. And the music only changes when multi-ball is actually ready, not just that you have 2 balls locked, but the third lock is ready and there it is. And so it's another one of those indicators that is an intuition to the player, like, okay, the situation is different now. Multi-ball is lit, and let me look for the green light. I forget who came up with that among the team. I think it may have been me. I was playing some other game and going like, oh yeah, why don't we do that? Everybody should do that. And then within a day or two, the music folks had mocked it up, and Eric Pripke, the programmer, had put it in the game, and we're like, yeah, this makes it better. But it's all that iteration. Like, you try something, and then the next day you're like, that's worse. This is not good. Let's not do this. But in this case, it's much better. You should be talking about this music now. But you're not. I don't know. They will comment on the music. They'll say like, well, I hope this player doesn't get multi-ball because I love this music. We can also start a mode alongside it. Oh, get in there. Ooh, good live catch. All right, there's a mode start.
You're a wonderful conversational companion.
Don't talk with your mouth full. And the knockers is a sequence of shots. If you've seen this in the movie, there's an exact sequence of things that happens in the movie, which is you knock the left. It's like, no, it's the other one. You try to knock the right, but it's caught. Then we follow that sequence pretty precisely.
Good there.
Well, meanwhile, multi-ball is also ready. So, oh, there's a jackpot. A hoggle jackpot. So let's do this. Let's not do this. Hold any flipper buttons. No, friend multi-ball canceled. So there's a multi-ball that you earn for collecting each friend at least once. And we just got that ready. But it can be worth more.
Oh, good. Can't hear you.
The longer that you go in the game. This is the starter multi-ball. Give the babe. My babe. And it comes on right at the right time. Okay, and the way this multi-ball works, you make enough red shots. What kind of magic?
Oh, yes. Slime and snails.
Oh, come on now. I'm trying to trap up so I can tell people what's going on. Dance, magic, dance. Also trying to make sure I get enough of the song. Jump, magic, jump. They were like, well, how much of this song should we use in the game? Like, no, all of it. And the super jackpot is over here. You put a ball behind that fork after making up regular jackpots, and then it sits there waiting for it to be caromed by your ball. So you knock it in, and woo-hoo-hoo. It's very satisfying. Also, I just made some progress in the knockers mode. Baby says. Oh, that didn't go? Oh, that's too bad. All right, so, hey, who's that guy?
How you doing?
All right, welcome. It's
Sorry
David.
I'm late, everyone.
This is David. We're dancing. Is this your fault? This whole game is your fault.
I won't stop you. Keep going.
So should I shoot the knocker or shoot the worm?
What do you got?
Let's go for the right ramp and then carry it into there.
Do it.
I didn't do it. Ooh. All right. Well, there.
Got the best seat in the house.
You're gonna watch it from there?
Absolutely.
All right. So the super value. This is Phil Grimaldi is responsible for this spinner. The spinner makes it way the hell better than without, because the jackpot value isn't just fixed. It is 1.9 million plus 190,000 per spin. So if I can hit that hard, I get a better super jackpot. And it keeps going up in value every time. So the more you get, the better it gets.
Nicely done, sir.
Slap that baby,
Don't
set
slap
it
the
free.
baby.
Well,
Don't
didn't they say
slap
that?
the
Slap the baby?
Kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby.
Okay.
And the door will open.
Open. Oh, knock 3 times. Wait, no, that's. Get in there. Get it. Oh, darn. You only have a limited amount of time to get this part where you have to knock on the door. Come on. Woo. Knock. Get in there. No. No. Nope. Oh, guys, why? Why are you bad at this? You want to do this part?
Nope. I just make them, Bowen. You play them.
I just told them all about what games you don't want to make next.
That's okay. I'm sure we're going to do one of them.
All right, let's do this the right way there. 1, 2. Oh! Come on, man. All right. No. No. 1, 2. No. Oh, I did it with the upper flipper. How is that even the thing?
Told you that works.
Okay, and then you put the marker back in where it belongs. Now you can knock where you couldn't knock before. There's no pressure. What are you talking about?
Oh, a nipper got me once. Did it hurt? Yeah, did it hurt? I didn't sit down for a week.
And there it is.
Nicely done, sir.
Oh, hello, mystery is lit. There we go. Let's go, worm.
Come inside and have a nice
Cup of tea. Give me the tea party. Come on, give me the tea party. Oh,
No tea for you.
cup of points. Whatever. You rip me off. Okay, what are we doing here? We got it? Oh, get in there. All right, more jackpots.
It's a present.
Ooh, it's a present. He seems very happy about it. All right, should we take the friend multi-ball this time? We ignored it so that we could grow the value. The value is now 7 million in jackpot instead of 3 million. And you can abort and try to drive it higher or you can just take it. It looks like we're starting. This is what, Family Matters? Family Matters and Friend Multi-Ball have the same, almost the exact same letter for letter intonation. In this multi-ball, you've got different colors for the friends, and the goal is to get at least one of each of the friend shots, and then go from there. Oh, meanwhile, we finished knockers. Sweet. What? You want me to get an orb right now? What about this jackpot I just picked up? That's 7 million, man. You do want me to get the orb right now? Fine, I'll do it. There's another 10 million for the orb. Now, what do you want? You want it on the ramp? All right, fine, I'll double that. I'll double that. Let's go over there too, why don't we? We want another jackpot? Oh, I've talked too much. All right, so orbs are the reward for doing well in things, for winning a mode, or in this case, making it to friend multi-ball. So the way an orb is going to be lit, it shows up underneath the upper flipper on the LO shot, which is also the mystery collect. This shot is one of the most important shots in the game, but players tend not to either know it's there or go for it because it's not exactly obvious. But here, I'll go right under, and boom. And it gives me, in this case, a mystery award. What, it's gonna give me the tea party? No.
How do you enjoy my labyrinth?
10 million for collecting an orb, and an opportunity to add a score multiplayer.
Give me the orb.
Give me the orb.
Keep it safe. You're just trying to steal it. Be quiet.
Okay, and then Fireys is lit. Let's play Fireys. Or miss the shot, that works too. There we go. Fireys. Yeah! So Fireys is about popping heads. Oh, and losing the ball, apparently. Popping heads.
This is not a joke.
In this case, every head you pop. Every head you pop is an add-a-ball.
I didn't see that.
Why aren't they saying anything about it, huh?
Where's the
You got
tilt?
these guys. Where's the tilt? There was a tilt. I'm not a nobody. It did give me a warning. Yeah, we didn't get it.
That teaches you.
Boo. All right, so the way that's supposed to work is you put a ball back in the lock, pop it off like the Super for before, but because you're popping heads from the Fireys from the movie, that will also put another head in play. So every time you pop a ball there, will also add a ball into play on every jackpot. So 5 times you can bring in a new ball, and then the value is also multiplied by the number of balls. So you can put a big score on there, or in my case, 250,000. All right, what's this about a tea party, though?
Come inside and have a nice cup of tea.
He just invites me for tea, but he never actually gives me any tea. Oh, he gives me an extra ball. That's fine, too. When is the tea?
You're too close to Boston, mate.
What? Oh, yeah, so close to Boston, he's just going to throw the tea in the river. Oh, my God. All right. Why don't we pause here for questions and see whether you have questions about the rules or questions about the game. And this is David Van Ness, the
Hey, guys.
the man in charge of the barrels.
All the barrels.
All the barrels. I'm just the Cooper.
Yeah. What's the answer?
She wanted to know about the Bowie backlash and how the Bowie backlash came about. And you use the mic.
Let's see. Which? Testing. There we go. The Bowie backlash. I mean, so obviously when designing the game, the Goblin King is who you're up against. So we always wanted, throughout the movie, he's always looking down onto the labyrinth, watching Sarah and whoever's coming through the labyrinth. So we wanted to make sure he was in a prime position, not looking at you, because anytime you see someone on a back glass looking at you is always weird. So we're always going to make sure he's looking away, not directly at you. But so we wanted to use the analogy of he's watching you through the crystal balls, because he does that all the time. And that's essentially how we came up with it, of a combination of he is watching you, making it through his labyrinth. And that's how it came about. So that was Nate Hillman. Nate Hillman does, he still does, a lot of the posters for all the Star Wars movies are for Disney and the Marvel posters. So he's actually a traditional artist. Was there another question?
Oh, that's the multi-ball music.
There's the call.
Hold on, we got some goblins.
The chaos.
Go ahead. What made us want to get the license for Labyrinth, basically, is what you're asking. Any
What's
game.
the process for
So
going
really
out and
what
going
it comes
together?
down to is what is the best world under glass we can tell? What lends itself to a pinball world? What's going to connect with you guys to make you want to play this game? So, like, in fact, talking to Henson, there were other titles they would like us to do. But I enjoy all their properties. I'm more of a Labyrinth person myself. But looking at the world that we could create, looking at the relationship with the company, is they would allow us to tell our story in that world. Now, I will tell you right now, most licenses will not let you do that. But Henson is very much a family company, and they want to empower people, not just storytellers, but even product. How can they best represent their IP? So looking at Labyrinth, even though we're pushing little things out to us, when you look at that world, there's so many opportunities for you to choose your own adventure in this IP. And one of the things I found interesting when I watched this movie as a kid is I was always frustrated by the choices Sarah made. Like, if you're falling down a hole, do you choose to continue down the hole? No, you don't. You go up. So it was those little things that made me feel like this is an opportunity for people to experience those characters in that world, because let's be honest, who would not want to get lost in a labyrinth like this, So like this is an opportunity for you to meet all those characters that Sarah did on her way, but it becomes a very unique experience for you as the player, with the opportunity to experience those exact moments that you may be identified with when you watch that movie. So for example, when he was playing Fireys, that song as a kid, I hated it. I felt like it was completely disconnected from the film. Like, you're in this film, then all of a sudden it goes into this musical, like really obvious, like almost like a music video, and it totally took me out of everything. But that now in the pinball world, it's probably one of my most favorite modes, because the music actually fits pinball, and what you're doing in it actually correlates to what you would do in the film. So it's kind of weird how that was one of my dislikes about the film. It has now become one of my favorite moments now in the pinball world.
Yeah. What?
What's your favorite mode?
I like Oubliette.
Oubliette? Oh, I like
I'm trying to get
Oubliette.
Oubliette the whole game, and finally about to come back around to it.
You can change the mode by hitting that side target.
What? I got Oubliette lit up right now.
Oh, there you go. Any other questions? Why Texas? A, I have house there. But B, actually, it is the one of the largest ports into the United States. So anything that comes through Walmart, Home Depot, actually comes through the Port of Houston versus East Coast and West Coast. In fact, it's actually cheaper to get parts into Houston compared to anywhere else in the United States. So when you think logistically, shipping, importing and exporting, it's actually a very strong state. We have a very high level of educated workforce down there. So is it a pinball workforce? Absolutely not. But I've been able to pull engineers from NASA, Boeing. We have a very strong metal fabrication in Houston. And one of the key things that I learned from filmmaking was the ability when you're making a film, you hire the best people not to make the film. You hire the best people who does costumes, who is the best cinematographer, who is the best this person. And don't get me wrong, I love pinball and I love the people that have made pinball, but a lot of pinball is made on lineage of people that have made pinball for the last 50 plus years.
Very important.
I want to try and bring new talent to the industry. So when it comes to metal fabricators, I have NASA that I'm pulling from, and they think about things different, but they also are very passionate about pinball. So do I want to radically change things? No, but I want to look at it in a different way as possible as I can. So that's why I chose Houston. There's a very rich, diverse culture down there. I live there. There's no income tax, so that helps. So there's a lot of benefits. But honestly, I think if you're passionate, you can do it anywhere. It's just a matter of the team you put together.
Hello, that's close enough.
It's been increasing, but it's fluctuating. So with the success of this game, it has gone above our expectations. Now, as we said, we always wanted to make up to 1,100. That was not always, we can cut it off whenever we want, mainly because while we're developing multiple games, if we need to change, if we haven't sold out, we would cut the line off, okay? So this is about, back to your question, because I will always take a short question and make it really, really long. Oh, I love this one. I love the music on this.
What do you like about Oubliette?
I love how every shot has 2 different outcomes.
Yep.
Which actually was when approaching this layout, was making sure every shot literally has 2 outcomes. Because in Labyrinth, no matter if you went left or right, there was always an alternative outcome. The only shot that doesn't have an alternative path is the right ramp. So we are averaging around 10 games a week right now. We actually do a little bit higher, a little bit lower, because I'm a collector, and if the game doesn't meet my expectations, it goes back out. It goes back. It's an expensive thing, but I don't want to give you guys something that's subpar, honestly, because I feel like when we entered the market, when we were looking at entering the market, we looked at it as what's missing from it? Like any business, you got to look at where's your opportunity come into the market. And I've been in the hobby since I was 16, got out of it, got back into it in early 2000s. And one thing that I always loved about pinball was the community. In a minute.
Goblin City's lit. Goblin City's lit, if you want to play
Goblin
it.
City? Okay. Well, let me finish up this one. We'll go. So what I missed was the hunt for games. Not knowing what the next game's going to be and finding that rare game. And when we looked at the market now, we have a lot of people that there's multiple versions of each game now, and everyone knows what everyone else is doing. And what I wanted to do was put that excitement back into pinball that, I wanted to see. So that's why we have one model. That's why there's only, we want to make the ultimate collectible, the sideshow of pinball. And we feel like, that's missing from the industry. And that's really was the impetus of starting the company. So with the success of the game, we have now had to increase our production by a lot. We're actually adding a second line right now to increase our production. The problem when you do that is quality will drop. And that's why I've actually slowed down our production right now, because I want to make sure as we bring on new people that the games are being made correctly. And I'll when you ship a game, if you move one game over to that corner, I guarantee you something's going to happen to it, because that's pinball, right? So it's a matter of quality and training is that we're focusing on. But when that second line comes on, there's going to be a pretty big shift in what we can output. But yeah.
It'll still end up easier and better than if you were to try to do multiple models.
Absolutely. Well, and just efficiency. Like we don't have multiple SKUs. And I don't want to have to guess what you guys do. I mean, there's a little bit of guesswork we've got to put into it by saying, what do we think this penetration into the market's going to be, right? And the response to this game, I mean, just seeing you guys here, I can't believe you guys are here to see a Labyrinth pinball machine. But obviously means we did something right, you know?
Why wouldn't we be? Labyrinth's freaking awesome.
Well, I mean, Labyrinth was a very hard sell.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I told you, like, Henson, it was even like, do you want to do something else? And I'm like, no, I think this will be the perfect game.
It's a game that travels through mazes. I mean,
It's pinball, right?
It's pinball.
I guess my
Right.
question is about theme integration and the IP as well as like shot layout.
Yeah.
How does that like really happen? Like, do you like go to Jim Henson? You're like, I want to make Labyrinth, or is it more like you have ideas for shot layout and you bring
So how we approach licenses is extremely different to everyone else. We approach them because we're very passionate, and we approach them with a very flushed out concept. And the reason why we do that is my film background. You can't get a film made unless you actually can clearly tell what you're trying to do, because when you're raising money for a film, most films don't even get made. So you have to put a lot of effort into it. So when we go to them, it's like, we're not making a pinball machine just with pop bumpers and stuff. We're truly integrating your IP into this world. So that's how we approach it. Oh, so just like approaching the theme. So what I'll do before I even talk to the licensors, I will talk to the group and go, don't watch the film or whatever IP it is. Don't watch it. Don't listen to it. I want you to all to go away and write down 10 things that you remember from it. And what you will find out of those 10 things, there will be usually 5 things that's very common between all of us. And that's where we start, because if that's what the common core is, that means the common core is probably going to fit everyone else. So that's how we approach it. And then, honestly, when it comes to the shots, it's called Whitewood, play it, sucks, move on. Whitewood, sucks, move on, and just keep doing that.
Not too bad.
Exactly. Apparently, I have the worst outlanes in the industry, so...
I'm just curious as a
Definitely.
game designer. I mean, I've worked with like video games, but I've never done anything with pinball. I'm just curious how that's different.
Yeah, it's very fluid, to be frank with you.
But I think that some people think that you build the game, you build a layout, and you build everything you want in the game, and then you figure out what property you're going to attach to this game, and that's absolutely not what happens. It's very unique to whatever it is. I mean, there's just all these pathways. Like, it wouldn't make sense for that same kind of pathways for, I don't know, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But, so the entire process and where you would start and finish is going to be different. And I think it shows. Okay, what is this thing going to represent, and why would it be over here? Like, the fact that you have the Goblin City and the castle behind the Goblin City is the movie is constantly talking about this, and it's there, and it's in a specific area, all on that left spinner.
Yeah, and we're not very close-minded either. Like, everyone actually gets to have a say. Now, we do have a lead, and there's a yes or no situation. But I firmly believe from someone on the line to my wife or my kid can have a great idea. And everyone should have an opportunity to voice that. Doesn't mean it's right for this game, but like, we literally have a wall, a blue sky wall, where if you have an idea, stick it up there. Because you don't know if that idea is going to trigger something else down the road. So, question right back.
Would you ever consider doing a general idea, like a generic kind of thing?
No, always, I'm open to anything, but I won't sacrifice the company for it.
Obviously. Like, if there's a general idea of something you thought would be good, you would go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, no, I can't say anything. Move on. I was going to reference something I can't.
Oh yeah, we're doing that thing.
Yeah.
No.
So you mentioned you were working with material scientists and fabricators,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not a lot of exotic materials I can see there.
Nope.
I mean, that really it? There's no reason for that? I know in some of the machines that we can see out there on the floor, there's a lot of different kinds of, injection molded plastics. And,
Yep.
You've got, wooden and composite parts, that are parts of toys and other displays and play fields and things like
Yep.
that. Just really found that, the conventional stuff is best, or just...
Well, I don't want to, like, if I threw something out here, it's completely different cabinet or different just anything,
Right.
you as collectors will be like, that's crap. Because there's nostalgia for it.
Right.
So ideally what will happen in 10 years' time, you'll look back at this and go, holy crap, it's really different. But again, why do we love pinball? We love this form factor. This is playable art. This is something we're proud of that we have in our house when someone comes in and they, do they still make pinball? Absolutely they do. I spent nearly 2 years talking to vendors. First of all, they're like, you make what? And B, they still make that? And you want us to make that? And like, I literally spent weeks educating vendors of what we do. So there's the downfall of being in Houston, to be honest. Because in Chicago, then you have those resources. So, but no, like, I don't want to radically change it. I just want to find a way, how can we tell better stories? How can we make the experience a lot better? Any other questions? Oh, well, look there. There's Thing.
I have a quick question. Is there an IP that you would really like to do, like for your next one, if you had the chance to? Is there a favorite?
So no. Actually, you know what? I will answer that because when we were in San Francisco with Adam, and we shot the video for him, and we're in a car driving to a non-disclosed location, and they go, David, what are you really excited about? Like, what license are you excited about? And I was just sitting there because you got to remember, this is kind of coming off getting this all set up, and I was tired. But it was like, I honestly don't know. I mean, we have multiples going still. And they would call off all these licenses. And when you're in the business, you go, no, because that person is dead. Or no, that music, like that whole album has 3 different bands in it, which means it's 3 separate licenses on top of the license for the IP, including the video assets. Now we also got to get the voiceover assets to that. And honestly, you start losing the joy. Like there is a thing when like you guys are, the privileged you guys, you can imagine anything and nothing can stop you. When you're running a company, you're like, but I still love everything I do. It's like, I can't wait for you guys to see the next 4 games. I mean, we literally were flipping the whitewood in the office today. And it's just, there's nothing like that feeling. Like, you get tired. I mean, no lie, not to pat myself on the back, but I go home around 7. I go to bed at 10. I'm awake at 2, responding to vendors and stuff like that. Then I get into the office around 8 because I want to see the boys off to the school. And that cycle happens every day, except Saturdays, Sundays. But I still wake up at 2 because now my body's set that way. But I would not change it for the world. And when we got that whitewood up and running, it was just like going right back to square one. Nothing can stop us. Let's do this. I'm going to stay late. I don't need dinner. Let's just play this thing, So, sorry, sidetrack. That's what I do.
I thought you said it sucked.
Oh, it does.
Okay.
Travis, our engineer who laid this out, and I walked up on it, I was like, with a marquee, and I was like, this, and he just looks at me all doofy, and he's like, dude, this is just number 1. Don't worry about it. It's all good,
How many whitewoods do you think you'll need?
I think we can get away with 4 on this one. Oh, this one? This is, this.
Do the versions of this that had the
Yeah, exactly
do those
that.
count?
I would say, actually, it's about 6 on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some other designers have been in here from some other companies, and every company is different. And they were overjoyed with new tools that they had, where they were confident they could do one whitewood. Never had So
my background is I did a lot of foam core. And that's something I learned from Ben Heck and John Popaduke. And it's probably one of the best tools I've ever learned because it allows you to see it and execute it, and you can tell what it's going to be like. But what we introduced at the company was SolidWorks. The good thing about SolidWorks is you can tell if something doesn't fit. It will tell you cannot fit that in there. So bringing in SolidWorks at a huge expense because it's not cheap, but has saved us multiple revisions because I would have never seen that in an foam core at all, or at AutoCAD, you know. And but the funny thing is, if you do SolidWorks, it's like, because our team uses SolidWorks, they're really confident in it. So when they put this whitewood together, you know, I walk up to it, it's like when you physically see it from all angles, it doesn't show you, like SolidWorks doesn't, you don't see it. So that's why it's really important to do that whitewood, because then you can go, well, that's definitely the wrong angle. Wow, but we got all these lines, because, you know, it's so funny is Travis has all these lines off the flipper, like, so, you know, this scientifically should be spot on, and then like you print it out, you've got it in things like, then you can already see where that's going to have a conflict.
So volumetrically, those tools are very good, but when it comes down to picking an actual shot, you just got to...
You got to play it. You got to shoot it, you know, and you can't have, you got to have thick skin because people will crap on. I mean, that's so the biggest downfall I think for Labyrinth is we had so many really, really good players play it. Because, again, like Bowen's already at the wizard mode, right? Phil, like Travis, like all our people that are working with us are very, very good players. And the game is set up to be almost like a tournament playing game, which makes it very hard for the casual player to come up and experience it. But I think there's enough humor in it, people can get over it, and they'll want to keep playing it. I will tell you, the second game, we're changing that. I'm making sure, like, if you don't set the game up properly, it's going to play perfectly. Labyrinth does need to be set up correctly to get the maximum value out of it, in my opinion. Now I realize, like, a lot of people are buying this game, are buying pinball for the first time. I've had literally 5 calls like, I got to put legs on this? But hey, I just grown the market. That's actually what makes me excited. These people have never bought a pinball machine before, and now they've bought my game. That makes me feel pretty awesome.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. Go to the one far at the back.
How close are you to getting to 1100?
Building or selling out?
Selling out.
We are close. Let's put it this way. It's a hard decision because 2 thoughts in it. We don't need to sell out to be successful. In fact, if we sold out day 1, week 2, or week 3, honestly, we did a bad job because we totally underestimated what we were doing, right? So I actually think we called the number really, really well. The biggest challenge I have now is, do I wait it out or do I just call it when game 2 is ready to go? So it's like, you know, I think 1100 is actually a low number if you think of how many games are actually made. I think long term we'll sell them out pretty easily. But at the same time, I'm really anxious to get to the next one.
So the second part of that question is, would you build more? Or you
Absolutely not. I only got a limited time on this planet. There's too many games I want to make, and I want to work with amazing people, and I don't want to waste their time tinkering on this. There's too many cool stuff to do.
What would Brian say about that same question?
Oh, absolutely not.
But for a different reason, I think, because he would say also that anytime that happens, you are kicking all the people who trusted you in the balls, basically, or other parts of their body, and it's like you trust that this is a collectible that has value, and if it has a limit and a number and a size, and then if something changes and all of a sudden that number is doubled or tripled because there's profit in it.
Nope.
Where is that profit coming at the expense of? All those people who
I will
trusted
tell you now, if I wanted to make money, I wouldn't have done pinball. Like, if I wanted really to be rich, I could have put the money elsewhere. But this is not about money. This is about making cool stuff with cool people. And I truly believe I'm investing in my people. Everything else will follow. Kind of crazy, but that's what I do. You're welcome, bud.
I know this is going to be a pretty general question, but are there any toys that you put in the system that you may have wanted to improve, do differently, or maybe try?
Everything.
Or maybe try tried out and went, this just was a total disaster, get rid of it.
So, no, I mean, everything is working how it is. The servos is a really interesting thing. We tested we went over 400,000 cycles with those servos with double amount of weight on them. Nothing failed. In fact, we burned out the controllers, not the servos. These servos in the games out in the real world have been the biggest pain in the butt. And we tested them, multiples. In fact, we're talking to another vendor that's going to supply us another one. So, again, we're not going to, if something happens to your servo, we'll send you a new one. We'll probably send you 3. But we can't predict what we're getting out of the vendor. I don't think you'll see too many servos in game 2 or 3.
But can I add some of this?
Go for it.
So this being the first game from a new company, reliability is a huge issue. And so a lot of the things that involved servos or that type of movement, they're not directly ball interactive. Like when you drain down that left out lane and you get angry and then the thing comes out and says, "Hey, where you going?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, that's funny." If that broke, you would still be able to play the game, no problem. So I think one of the things that was a priority in this game is to make sure that everything worked really well and stayed working really well from day one of receiving a game. And I think that to me is a huge success of this machine, to have a brand new company make, was it now 150 or so based on the number that's out there?
We just crossed 170 something at the factory.
And
so we're heading
to have
to
those
200
games
right
being
now.
received and working, and a fully ball interactive toy, and not that there isn't anything interactive with the ball, like the forks and the yellow and all that, but the types of things I think of when I think of a toy like Rudy's Mouth, which can eat the ball. Sorry. Those kind of interactive toys are really hard to make, and they're really hard to make well and make certain that they're going to work. And I think.
And we test everything. That's the point. It's like you have to test this stuff over and over again. So.
Like a fully interactive toy didn't really work out, so you didn't put it in.
So everything that's in this was actually from the get-go. In fact, it actually got more stuff. What is frustrating is the servos is like, we literally tested these and now they suck. So it's like, but again, we'll figure it out. I saw some hands in the back.
How many times do you guys have to watch the movie during production?
I have watched the movie more times than probably anyone here from when I first discovered it and throughout the movie. But the team that I had, honestly, didn't have to watch it because most of the people on this team love this IP. So I honestly could take my hands off the wheel and they would just go with it.
Yeah. There's also passes you make looking for either all of the dialogue that is useful and isolated, or specific things you want to do in the video. Like there's a great thing at the end of Bog where like the game stops for 7 or 8 seconds while Aloysius just crosses and passes through. I was like, "Oh, excuse me."
Yeah, but the thing is like we enjoy that. Like we like these Easter eggs. We like having experiences, and this is what this is about. That's what makes pinball special to me. Like you can have a video game, you learn the pattern, and you're done. Pinball, every time you play it, there's something new, there's something different.
David, good to meet you.
How you doing?
Ship My Pinball. Can you talk to us about your shipping business model? I know you were drop shipping to save a lot of money, which was very well appreciated by the user. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening in the future with regards to that?
I mean, the shipping, so I got noticed of, there's like another damaged game, so that's always fun. The shipping situation is interesting because there's so many things happening in that side of it that we didn't even anticipate at all. And then also, so all our direct customers we deal directly, and we have take care of it. And then the vendors, the distributors, they have their own people they like to use. So honestly, right now it's chaos because we've got to wait for BRLs to come from the vendor, from the distributor. They don't necessarily get it correctly, and we have now, something we learned about our new metrics this week is we have distributors that have bought games, but their customer has bought toppers and mirror backglass, but they bought it directly from us. So then all of a sudden realized, because it goes free with the game, because the topper goes on top, back glass goes inside of it, no shipping cost. So we didn't think about that they were going to do that. So of course we shipped it to them for free because that's our fault. We didn't think of that, how you can do that. Same with t-shirts. We realized that people wanted to buy t-shirts and we had the option to ship it with your game. And guess what? 90% of the people chose ship it with their game. And that's like, oh gosh, now we have to watch what the t-shirts is. That's okay, but these are things you just don't think about in shipping. No different with distributors. Like, we honestly thought we were pretty, we had a good game plan bringing this game to market, but I had no idea the world of what distributing was going to be like. I had no idea how the shipping was going to be handled. Like, I couldn't even get FedEx, UPS, XBO, anyone to even talk to me. You go, well, what do you ship? And I was like, well, this is what I predict. Well, get back to us after that. Okay. Okay, that's awesome. Thanks. And honestly, to this day, I don't deal with FedEx because they've given me 4 different accounts. None of them talk to each other. In fact, I literally had a conversation this week about, hey, they gave me a quote for my LTL, log in to approve it. Couldn't approve it because they didn't recognize the account number. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with this. I'd rather just go with an independent because I just don't have time to do it. And that's not being arrogant. It's just like, I literally just don't have time to do it. So I know it doesn't answer your question, but it's actually a very interesting question. Thanks for asking.
Is Bowen Kerins contract-based, or is he a full employee now of Barrel's Farm?
Well, he's a contractor, but I consider him a full-time, but he has a day job as well. So should we go to the wizard mode?
You want it or you want me to do it?
Dude, you want me to drain in 2 minutes? No, sorry, 30 seconds, let's be honest.
I mean, it'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, no.
No? All right.
Blow
Very
it up,
well.
Bowen.
Very well. So to get to Goblin City, you have to play, not win. Oh.
It's probably because of your breath.
Mark Silk,
Hey.
everyone.
This is Mark Silk,
Did all
who's
of them.
done all sorts of voice work in TV and movies. And I call him Bob the Builder, but he doesn't like that.
No, he does. He says
he does.
he's the American Bob the Builder.
But is he American?
No.
He's not American. So how
But
can
he
how
did
can
the
he-
American Bob the Builder.
Wow.
That's close enough.
Well, yes, he can. All right, so to start Goblin City, you shoot the spinner after defeat the giant gate golem to enter the city. So, if you've seen the movie, this is the near climax of the movie where they're going through the city, and there's 3 phases here that correspond to the different, maybe it messes up because I had it off there for so long.
What's going on? The ball is missing. The game is looking for it.
That's my fault.
I bet Jared stole it.
What'd you say about 30 seconds?
Next time I will play.
He's just kind of looking down going like, where's the ball? Oof, that was terrible.
That's
Now-
right. We had a Q&A.
Boo, awful. You can play Goblin City a second time by going back through all the modes again and continuing from there. Let's see if we can get some more mystery awards.
This music.
The mystery award is just these 2 purple targets. Not that one. Nope. And then, so why did you insist on this particular thing for the yellow?
Why do I want the mode?
Yeah, why do you want this?
Are you going to get it now? Let's see.
I'm hoping we get it right now. Yeah!
Yes, there you go.
The kettle's hot. Oh,
That's brilliant. Nice check.
it's on a hurry up. I forgot about this part. You can mess it up in this notch.
Play better, Bowen.
I know, right?
There you go.
Oh, 50,000.
So this is a mode that probably should never exist, but like through the film, like the movie is like he invites Sarah in for a cup of tea, and she never does it. So I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to have tea with Elo. So it was funny. I was sending stuff to Henson to approve, and they saw the first clip of this, and like, yeah, we're not like just everything's fine, but are you guys really gonna do tea time with Elo in the game? And I was like, absolutely, we are. And they were completely tickle pink. But again, I've always wanted to have tea with him and the missus. So right now, Bowen should be. Oh, you failed.
Yeah, it's over.
All right. So basically, you add sugar and milk to your tea. Why? Because we can.
That's good. That's how I want to do it. It's a gift.
Another extra bowl. You sure you want to play more?
No. You want to play it? Get
Nope.
over here.
No. You want to see it? Okay. You know what?
Though.
That's fine.
Or friend multi-ball. There you go. Have a friend multi-ball. Friend multi-ball starting. I'm Hoggle. There's 5 Bowie songs in the game. This one is Underground, which has some parts that are really fast, other parts that are not. And you kind of identify like loops that you want to use. But this is good.
One more shot and that's all.
You're doing better than me.
Ooh, multi-ball is ready. I hope they don't start it. I love this music.
Appreciate it.
I'll throw you.
Okay.
So, Bowen, what did you think when I said, hey, let's do Labyrinth?
Yeah, when David said, let's do Labyrinth, I was like, wait, what? That's, no. I had never seen the movie, and I was like, what scene in this movie is in it? So, like, no one knows this movie. Who knows this movie? Why? But I think I changed my mind a little bit. Once there was laughing Muppets, I mean, that's pretty good. Just goblins that yell at you, you got it right there. You're all set.
I think the topper is what? Which one of them is Statler?
No comment.
But that like when I'm thinking of like when we were writing the script for the topper was like what kind of insults would they lob at the player, and then all right, let's throw some of those up here, and then they insult each other just as well. Like, you're bad breath, or you're not good at pinball, you can't even move. At least my head moves. You don't even move at all. Does Mike what?
The guy whose arm.
Oh, the guy whose job it was to do the fondler. Is that the? No, I'm afraid not. Nor do the individuals who played any of the Muppets. It's just one of those general movie licenses. I'm sure they get an overall license from. Overall royalty from the movie, but nothing special. But yeah, that's an interesting story about like those shots where there's this juggling going on, and then it's almost like operating David Bowie as a Muppet. Yes. It's just pretty boss.
Jump, magic jump.
Any other questions? Yeah. I don't know anything special about it beyond what I've seen in like Variety and a couple other places. There is some discussion publicly about a lab sequel, but I don't know.
So the original conversation was, so when it comes to licensing, yeah, once you take over.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll give you.
Good job. Udo
So now the question is,
skirts.
do I get to put my name in? Because this is the highest score I've ever gotten on this game with the glass on.
All right. Well, hopefully they'll tell you what initials to put in.
I commend you. Rarely have I seen such courage.
Unfortunately.
I know my role.
Do you though? So unfortunately, the game is currently set for 3 letters max. So no.
No.
Is that a PG setting?
PG setting.
So talking to licenses, getting a license is not just walking in and just saying, hey, we want this IP, here's the money. That can happen that way, but it generally doesn't. So a lot of licensing is relationships. So conversations with licenses can start. There's a license I've been dealing with. I've been talking for them over 10 years. So it's one of those things of you just talk to them and you find out what they're doing. You know their kids' names, and it's a relationship building licensing at one-on-one. I mean, yeah, there is a very corporate of big corporation pay them money, they give it to you. Well, may give it to you. But I feel like the good licenses is about relationships. I know that didn't answer your question, but
You mentioned there is a difficulty with, you don't pursue certain licensing because the guys are dead, but 2 guys on your back glass are dead.
yeah. No, and it comes down to how big they are. There's estates that are really easy to deal with, and then there's estates that think they're worth $1 million. And if I could, and realistically, if I could pay them, if I knew there was, if I can make a great product and I knew that the money would be recouped, I would pay for it. Like, there's no amount of money I would not pay for something if I believe it will make a fantastic product. The question is, will it make me go bankrupt?
So to that point then, in your overhead, what percentage of it is the license?
Oh, I haven't broken down the percentages.
In a perfect world.
Perfect world, $10. No, actually, like we've got a license right now that's absolutely free. It would have cost someone else more money, but they saw what we did and they believe that we can make a great product. Again, we approach these guys is because we want to be the sideshow of pinball. We want to be the ultimate collectible of that IP for that brand.
Would you ever do a kind of points setup for a licensee?
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Is that ever happen?
Giving them ideas.
So that does happen.
Oh.
But they also think it's going to sell like 100. They think it's a T-shirt, and I can make more money making T-shirts.
For sure.
Even though how much this costs, don't get me wrong, I realize how expensive this is, but there's just a lot of love and detail that goes into this. And again, I just love making a world under glass. Like, realistically, as a filmmaker, that's my background. I got to direct a sequel to Labyrinth, and they don't even know it. Because if I went and told them I want to make a Labyrinth sequel, they would have never given me the option to do that. I got to do it right here. But I got to make a story for each individual person playing it, not just one actor.
Do you think the industry makes T-shirts, or do you think the majority of them are world makers?
They are all doing the best they absolutely can. I've got friends everywhere, but there's some that are controlled more as a corporation, because they've got people they've got to be responsible to. They've got a board of directors. And there's people that are everyone's trying to do the best they absolutely can. And that's not being political, because I've got friends everyone there. I've got friends at every company. And we're making the best product we can. It's just a lot of people follow each other. We want to make something different. Even though it's in the same format, same form factor, but we really want to do something different.
And then, so to that point, then, is there a limitation that you feel like that current convention for pinball has placed on you that you wish you could operate outside of?
No.
The form?
No, I'm very happy with everything we're doing. I just wish there are easy ways to get where we are. Like there's just the day-to-day things of things. Like now that we have the 20,000 foot facility that we are now adding onto to make up for the demand, but we got just under 2,000 individual pieces in this game with 60 plus vendors that all operate different time zones, that have different QCs or didn't meet QC for one day because someone was sick. I have to get involved in that on a daily level. That's probably the hardest thing for me right now is I want to make sure it's the best product possible, and I've got my fingers on everything, and I've got to delegate better, and this is just being frank with you guys, and we will get better because we're hiring. I mean, we're hiring now. We've been hiring for 12 months. And it's just one of those things of, I just want to make the process easier. And it's just hard when you're dealing with that many parts and different vendors. So is there a limitation? The limitation is it's so broad. It's, again, a T-shirt, making a T-shirt, it's buy the fabric, have a screen, silk screen place, put it in a box, ship it to you. I have 15 people on the line taking 2,000 parts every day, making 4 or 5 games a day. 5, yeah.
Would you think about making a wide body if it?
Absolutely.
For what you wanted?
Gosh, I would make Pinball Circus if I could. I just know there's no market for it. Well, there is a market for it, but not enough to cover its cost.
Would you think it would be worthwhile for you to make a wide body? Or
yeah, if the story allows for it, like the team, when they put it together and if it shoots well and the story is right and it fits the world under glass, absolutely.
What about a super narrow body?
He wants to go. I think he's done. 2 more questions and we'll wrap it up. Make that none. Oh, there we go.
Any more plans to work with the Jim Henson family?
Talk to him every week.
One more question. Were you surprised at how well you were able to keep this game a secret?
No, my team's awesome. I knew, like, again, I wouldn't be working with them if I didn't trust them. So, no, look, I'm nothing. These guys is what makes this company, and they're the ones I'm investing in. And I hope you enjoy the product.
Thank you very much.